In a world with performance marks such as BMW M, Mercedes AMG, Porsche, etc., what sort of person buys a Camaro ZL1?
Me. I've done the Porsches, I've done some of the BMWs. I also went Australian. I had a V8 rear-wheel drive manual Holden, which was a ton of fun. I just wanted something a bit different, and being a member of the Sporting Bears, you get to experience and look at every type of exotica going. And I just wanted something that was a little bit different. When I saw that, it was like, wow, got to have it. Then I actually found out about the performance stats, and that was just the icing on the cake.
So what would you then say was the primary inspiration behind this purchase?
Definitely the looks to begin with. It's just got that wow factor. And for me, funnily enough, I was discussing this with my son the other day, and I said, what other car can you think of that has that many curves and that many chisel edges? And he said, Lamborghini Countach, Daddy. And I went, you're absolutely right. So there's something about it that just brings out that primeval urge to get out there and drive.
And seeing that arrive today, it really was breathtaking. Can you take me through some of the aesthetic modifications that you've had done to this?
Sure. I mean, the biggest obvious one is the rear spoiler. That's from the 1LE. So that was developed, funnily enough, that was developed in the UK at the AMG Petronas wind tunnel. And that's from the 1LE. The rear splitter is a custom-made unit. The front splitter, that's another carbon unit from, can't remember the name of the company. Other aesthetics include the side sills. They were dipped in carbon fibre. They look fantastic. The mirror caps and covers.
And I do think the front bumper looks a little bit different as well.
Oh yes, you've got the ZL1 1LE grille, and it's subtly different to the standard one because it protrudes around the edges, all designed to bring more air in. Just that bumper section brings in an extra 13 litres a minute.
Wow.
Over the standard one.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
Some of the stats behind this are just mind-blowing.
Form and function.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Moving from the aesthetics, so what about the performance modifications you've done to the car?
Where do I start? I mean, it's all bolt-ons. So in other words, it's everything that you can do without taking the engine apart. So the first one was the supercharger itself was fully ported by Joker's Performance in the States. So I sent them my supercharger, they ported it, and they sent it back. It's running a larger air intake. It's running 3-port meth on a progressive Devil Zone controller. It's running a full exhaust system. What else? Oh, and a pulley combination to spin the supercharger slightly quicker. So all in, we're looking at 770 horsepower, and can't remember the pound-foot number, but it's over 1,000 Nm in torque.
Wow. And I was shocked to read that this car has actually been banned in Europe. Can you tell us why?
Yeah, you don't want to read too much in the press. I mean, there's a couple of reasons. The lovely Hollywood story is that the front dive planes, they're too dangerous for pedestrians, so they banned it for that reason. The real reason is that they didn't want to put the 1LE and the ZL1 through type approval.
I see.
And they just said, you know what, we won't sell it in Europe. If anyone wants to import them as a personal import, fill your boots. But as a type approved car, we're not going to bother doing it.
I understand that this has also been featured as an extra in the latest Fast and the Furious movie.
I wouldn't call it an extra, and the fact that one of the leading ladies is actually driving it, but you have to wait to see the film to find out who that is. But yeah, it has its 10 seconds of fame or whatever the
How
phrase
did that
is.
come about? How did that actually, come to light?
I had it signed up with an agency forever, for things like proms, movies, that kind of thing. I didn't hear from them for like a couple of years, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, on I think Saturday night, he emailed me and said, "Still got your car?" I went, "Yeah. Any chance you can drop it off at Leavesden at Watford Studios on Monday?" I went, "Oh, this sounds interesting." I went, "Yeah." He says, "Yeah, you have to sign a non-disclosure." I thought, "Yep, this is getting serious." And this was last April, and yeah, they had it on set for almost 6 weeks.
What a fantastic accolade to have, though.
I know, how cool is that? It's an actual Fast and Furious car.
So where does one go from here? If you think about your car history and your car future, potentially, where would you go from this beautiful ZL1?
I don't think I will. I mean, this really is one of the last proper muscle cars. Full internal combustion engine. It's as manual as you'd want to go, but it has enough electronics to keep you on the road. So as far as I'm concerned, it's the last proper muscle car. Yes, you could look at Chargers or Challengers, but this one does everything. It's fast, it handles, it makes a great noise. I'm happy with this.
And it looks sublime.
It looks, definitely.
And your private number plate, the significance of that?
Yeah, it's my son's name. It's Max Handa. So it's going to be his plate and maybe even his car when he's old enough to drive, and he's 11 at the moment. He's already driven it a few times. There's a few videos of him on private land on my Insta channel. But yeah, he's very keen to get behind the wheel of a car as soon as he can.
What a lucky young man.
Yeah, and he forgets it occasionally, so I have to keep reminding him.
And you also do some fantastic work for one of the charities, Sporting Bears.
Yeah, so Sporting Bears is a charity that's been out around for 30 plus years now, and it's the premise is very simple. We turn up to car shows and you have a number of cars, 20, 30, 40, depending on the size of the show, and for a donation the driver will take you out on the public roads for a 10-minute, 20-minute experience to get the feel for its handling, its acceleration, etc. And as a car club, we've raised over £3 million since we've been going, and it's exclusively for children's charities. 100% of that money goes to children's charities. We don't take a penny of it in terms of divvying it up in fees or anything like that. In fact, if anything, we actually pay a subscription, and that subscription pays for the credit card fees and things like that. So it's a worthwhile thing to do, especially in the summer if you've got a nice car and you just want to share that passion with people and know that you're doing something for a good cause.
Gary, thank you for sharing your insights only.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me. 2017 Hot Wheels. Thank you so much.
Enjoy.